All right, we're going to talk about Mexico now. And President Obama is in the midst of a very important meeting with the Mexican president, Felipe Calderon. It's important because what was a growing relationship between these two countries has been strained recently. We're going to take a closer look at it for you today. First, a look at why it's important to Wall Street. Now, one of our nation's top financial institutions, talking about Citibank, its exposure to Mexico is more than $40 billion, $41.4 billion as of December 2009. One of our top automakers, Ford spending $3 billion in Mexico, and it's also using that country as its platform for the production of the Ford Fiesta model. And our nation's largest discount retailer, Walmart, plans to spend more than $1.5 billion in Mexico this year. So you get the idea here, an incredible amount of money in Mexico. But here's what's putting it all at risks. Drugs and violence. We have a heat map that you can see here. It shows the influence of some of Mexico's big drug cartels. And Jeffrey Davidow joins us now, former U.S. ambassador to Mexico, heads up the Institute of the Americas in San Diego. Has been working on these issues for many, many years. Thanks for joining us, and tell us how important this meeting is, in your view, President Obama and President Calderon.
It's an important meeting because this is, as you say, is an important relationship for a lot of reasons. Trade, commerce, drugs, violence, all of these are important issues to us. The relationship has gotten a little frayed in the last year. For a variety of reasons. I think it sort of kicked off with the WikiLeaks leaks in some cables that were made public from the embassy, casting doubt on the efficiency of the Mexican government. My guess is that the two presidents will have a good talk. This is the fifth time that they've met since President Obama's been in the White House. They'll smooth over the differences. But we cannot fool ourselves. This is a thorny relationship dealing with very difficult issues and will remain that way for a long time to come.
Well, that's the thing here. And when we talk about it, and we talked about China, for example, when President Hu came to the United States, and you talk about, well, will anything be accomplished at these meetings? Anything of substance you think that could move the relationship forward? Because after all, we outlined it or tried to, all the economic reasons why Mexico is so important. It is important. It's our neighbor to the south. Anything of substance that might happen and materially change things?
Yeah, I think that what is likely to happen in terms of substance might not really be quite visible. The big issue between the United States and Mexico right now, or the big development, is that the level of cooperation between U.S. law enforcement and Mexican law enforcement is higher than it's ever been. It's absolutely unprecedented, given the kind of difficult relationships that have existed in the past. And I suspect that President Calderon will come with a list of rather specific items about equipment, about intelligence sharing, about training. These things probably won't grab any headlines, but it's good that the two top guys get together and go over a checklist of how things can be made more efficient.
Last thing, Jeffrey, if you were an American company or the CEO of one, would you be wary at all of being involved in doing business in Mexico right now?
No, not really. What you see in Mexico is that it's an economy that's growing. It's the third largest trading partner of the United States. It's our second largest export market. It came through the financial problems of the last few years pretty well. The economy grew at a good clip last year. There's actually a reflux of business. A number of companies that took their manufacturing facilities to China are now coming back because you really can't beat Mexico in terms of its closeness to the United States, especially for heavy, durable goods. So, yeah, obviously one has to be concerned about security, take appropriate measures for your employees and your facilities. But the general view of American and other foreign corporations is that Mexico remains a good place to do business.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it today.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Davidow is the former ambassador to Mexico for the United States, joining us to talk about a very important issue. Dagan, back over to you.
Thank you, Connell. Be afraid, football fans. Very afraid. The clock ticking.